Okay, so I've got actually a pretty good one. Um, so you're as so you're familiar with Khan, who is the current big bad of Maya campaign. So before he was in my campaign, I actually played him, and he was an evil character, but he was amongst good people. Um, but I managed to make it work because essentially he had no ill will towards the rest of the party, despite the fact that they were obviously of an opposite alignment. However, he managed to. I don't know if this would be a good example, but he essentially did good things in a way that furthered his own goal, but at the same time, there was no intent on screwing over the party. He was generally furthering his own goals by essentially taking advantage of a bad situation in this village and essentially became the mayor of it. But he, sorry, my cat is having a fight. I don't. I guess you heard that. And but yeah, essentially what he did was he did like a lot of stuff. Like he he annihilated a lot of prejudices from the village and essentially made it a much more prosperous village. Essentially because of the stuff he was doing. Uh, that is one of the examples I can think of where he wasn't being like moustache twirlingly evil, but he was keeping in character, but was not disrupting the party by it's essentially chasing his goals. I'm sorry if this is a bit off topic or if it's a bad example, but it's one that immediately sprung to mind. Thank you very much. I poshy myself. Wait, it's not working. Hang on, hang on. Let me try something real quick.
In all honesty, I haven't been in a lot of campaigns, and there hasn't been like a lot of evil characters to my knowledge. Oh, then, oh boy. Hard ones coming to mind. I can think of, well, there's one. Because I've recently watched it, and that's The Godfather. And even though Michael isn't good by the end of the film, there's still that chance. And even though he isn't a good person, he still tries to do good, at least by his family. Um, First, it starts off as him kind of wanting to. He just wants to get away from war. He came back from war. He's a soldier. He he doesn't want to be a part of the violence anymore, but things happen. I think a lot of people misunderstand that evil characters aren't mustache twirling evil characters, like mustache twirling people like Bones said. A lot of evil characters, uh, they start off with good intentions. But, uh, okay. Yes. Yeah, and I get that, but I think that a lot of people focus a lot more on selfishness isn't just in I'm doing this for myself. Sometimes you can try to help other people, but you're doing it in the worst way possible. Like he was trying to help his family, but he was doing it in such a way by the second film it's done damage to his family. And that's because of his own selfishness and lust for power. It hurt everyone around him. It's not like, yeah, it's not just about the self. It's think about it, instead of sacrificing the few for the many, you sacrifice the many for the few type deal. As long, yeah, especially I do believe with lawful evil villains, as long as they have like a code that's like, I trust my friends, I believe in my friends, when you've earned my respect, you're my friends, fuck everyone else, I'm gonna focus on my friends, and I'm gonna do benefits to help them instead of, like, if I need to kill a couple people to save my friends, then I'm gonna do that, and I don't care how innocent they were or if there was another path. That's the selfishness in it. They're the only ones to matter because they matter to him, fuck everyone else. Sorry if it's a bad example, but top of my head. Okay. Are you joking? Your plushy button's broken.
Okay, apologies, but I would also like to. Uh, I don't know if this would be a good example, but Chatty's character Quoth seemed like another good example of the fact that they were a warlock and they served Atropos, and it was an evil god, and obviously Chatty's character Quoth was doing very questionable things, but it didn't interfere with the party's dynamic. Yeah, yeah, that's a good point actually. That's a good point actually. Oh, okay.
Um, and I actually jumped in here to say it kind of works for the ones that I suggested, the lawful evil ones that follow codes. Like, they know what they do to help is wrong. They're still gonna do it because they believe that's the only way to help. Is it wrong? Yes. Will they still do it? Yes. Even though they know it's immoral, they're gonna do it because their way of helping is better and they know it. Yeah.
I just thought of another one. This time not tabletop related, but I'm getting like kind of thoughts of Joker from Arkham City, where Joker isn't really doing anything good, but him and Batman are working together towards a common goal. But basically their motivations are different entirely, and he, it's easier to keep Batman alive in Arkham City so he can go and find the cure for him as you know. Man, it's always the crazy ones. But yeah, I'm sorry. I can't derail stuff. Uh, I'll apply to myself now and listen like a good student.
Okay. Yeah, granted, he's not the one doing it directly. But however, he's still the one causing it. And good, which brings the question for both good and evil characters once they've finished their goals. You got to ask yourself, both as both the game master and the player has to ask themselves, what now? And only one of those two has to answer the question. But nevertheless, the question has to be answered. Because otherwise, that character's meaningless. That character has just become the most worthless character in the entirety of storytelling. Let's see here. With that being said, I want to springboard this to define alignments. We're going to discuss the types of alignments, or the alignment spectrum. Dungeons and Dragons does a pretty good job at labeling the spectrum. But however, I will say that do not trust the D&D alignment spectrum, as it is a completely unreliable way of character personality management. Because not everything you do is going to fit what your character is as a whole. Because keeping the character, staying in character is a very difficult thing to do. As both a player and a game master, you're not gonna be able to stay in character the entire time. You're not. But with that, take these definitions with a grain of salt. We're going to start with the good alignments. And... Ow. Ow. Come on. Hold on a moment. So I had notes here. All right. And I'm going to save these. I'm going to define these in the first person. So I'm going to save these as I want to save these as if I'm the person. But however, I want you guys to pay attention to I want you to pay attention to the trend that goes with how I define myself as I go along. We're going to start with lawful good. I selflessly put the needs of others before my own and use the laws and traditions of my people in order to help people the right way. Neutral good. Whether I break or follow the rules is inconsequential. What matters most is being selfless and protecting the well-being of others. Chaotic good. I selflessly put the needs of others before my own. I defy social norms and challenge authority in order to help those oppressed by it. Lawful neutral. The needs of myself or others are inconsequential. What matters most is upholding the system and structures of authority for the sake of order. Ethics are true neutral. Ethics and rules are flexible depending on the situation. I will do whatever is most pragmatic at a given time, and am not strongly attached to any one ideal. Chaotic neutral. The needs of myself or others are inconsequential. What matters most is challenging structures of authority for the sake of freedom. Now we go into lawful evil. I put the selfish needs of myself above the needs of others and will take advantage of the rules and traditions of society in order to keep others beneath me. Neutral evil. Whether I break or maintain rules is inconsequential. What matters most is putting my own selfish needs above the needs of others. Chaotic evil. I put the selfish needs of myself above the needs of others and will subvert the rules and traditions of society in order to keep others beneath me. The class ended for some reason. I don't know. Okay, the class ended for some reason on its own. I don't know why. Discord is doing a fucky wucky. So I'll wait a bit to let others come back. I mean, in the meantime, Bones, or Computer Blue, I want to get you up here.
The hello, fatty baby.
Yeah. So, question first. Well, were you able to catch all or most of it before Discord decided to do its fucky wucky?
Most of it, yeah.
When did I get cut off?
I think it was somewhere but in the middle of chaotic neutral, I believe.
All right.
Oh, lawful neutral. Okay.
All right. So I'll just start from I'll start from lawful neutral, and then we'll go through it again. So lawful neutral. The needs of myself or others are inconsequential. What matters most is upholding the system and structures of authority for the sake of order. True neutral. Ethics and rules are flexible depending on the situation. I will do whatever is most pragmatic at a given time, and am not strongly attached to any one ideal. Chaotic neutral. The needs of myself or others are inconsequential. What matters most is challenging structures of authority for the sake of freedom. Lawful evil. I put the selfish needs of myself above the needs of others and will take advantage of the rules and traditions of society in order to keep others beneath me. Neutral evil. Whether I break or maintain rules is inconsequential. What matters most is putting my own selfish needs above the needs of others. Chaotic evil. I put the selfish needs of myself above the needs of others and will subvert the rules and traditions of society in order to keep others beneath me. So, with that being said, Bones, did you notice the trend of good going into evil?
Yes, I certainly did, and it was essentially as it went further, it was more about serving your own needs as opposed to basically serving the needs of others. Essentially, it was so you could like in a way to like even though I'm going to use like a comic book example, you couldn't really say Thanos is like he could technically be either classed in like the good or neutral category because he was doing it for a cause for others. But I'm trying to think of another villain, but essentially it's basically about doing what you have to do to get to your own needs and not the needs of anyone else or the safety of anyone else.
Now then, now what about the trends between lawful and chaotic?
Between lawful and chaotic. Lawful and chaotic, it was essentially like one was about preserving order and structure, while chaotic was essentially about, going the opposite way of, like, as you said, defying social norms and just disregarding order and structure in basically in order for freedom, essentially, like a kind of like a anarchist kind of point of view.
Yeah. All right. So, no, Zach, chaotic there is no rules. You are challenging the rules.
Yeah, I was about to say the one rule of being chaotic is there are no rules.
Yeah.
By the way, hi Mum, I'm on TV.
No. But let's see here. With that being said, we'll move on to the next topic. Again, take the alignment spectrum with a grain of salt, as again, it is really hard to stay in true to the character the entire time you're playing, which is why a lot of people hate the alignment system in D&D. So right now I'm going to plush you again. Whee! It worked this time. Nice. Now that we've defined the alignment spectrum, we need to explore the tension. We need to, first of all, come up with reasons for the good and evil characters to coexist. Give them reasons why they might work together, such as common goals, pragmatism, respect for skills, blackmail, or even shared history. The list goes on and on. But this part, I'm going to rely on you guys to list, and its conflict potential. We're going to discuss points of friction. What is going to things that could cause conflict amongst the good and evil characters. So, with that, we're going to bring Zach in. Zach, come on up. Okay. Then Lich, come on up here. Give me one example.
Hello.
Yeah, give me one example of how good and evil characters could conflict with each other in a campaign.
Actually, this has been one that I was wondering that if it'll happen anytime soon, but it's your character in Zach's campaign. Well, his one shot that he did. Remember how I joined there towards the tail end of it?
Yeah.
Like, I continue to forget their name, but
Argo.
your character in Argo. Your character, even though several times it was stated, hey, this might be a bad idea, things are fucking with our memories. Well, not your memory, but all of ours. Maybe we don't want to tamper with it. They wanted to know. They were only satisfied with one goal: the truth, and if they were a betrayer. Damn everyone else, it was that one goal. No matter the risk. Which could have been solved simply if, basically, I gotta disappear now, but it could have been solved simply if, it was just, kind of talked about and, told to the headmasters. Everything could have went quietly and more safer, but everything blew up. Okay, bye.
Yeah. So, to discuss that, yeah. So they were talking, for context, they were talking about a moment where Argo, my character in a one shot, was really going into it, interrogating the shit out of another character in the party, and my character was lawful evil. All she cares about is obtaining information. To hell with how she gets it. The only thing she cares about is making sure her clients don't get ripped off, and she will not do business with the people that can't afford it. And that's what makes her lawful. But as far as conflict goes, the reason that could cause conflict is the pursuit of knowledge. They are willing to do whatever it takes to obtain the knowledge. Damn everyone else. Which would follow under the topic of sacrificing innocence. So then I'm going to bring up Kieran, Liliana, and I would like you to tell me an example of a conflict that could arise with an evil character in a good alignment party.
I'll use the examples I have.
Just
and
one.
The example I have right now being frankly awake, or freshly awake from my nap. I remember the guy who showed up to a job ready to stab his guy after leaving his entire party to deal with child support repeatedly. And nobody enjoyed that. The NPCs were coming after him. That is what I've got.
Okay. Yeah. So I'll move you to the fleshy realm. Yeah, that's still kind of the same thing as last time's sacrificing innocence. Bones.
Oh boy. Let's see. So it's basically conflicts that would, as you said, conflicts that would arise from essentially the evil character being within the wassets of a good party.
Yeah. Or vice versa.
Oh, okay. Oh, Jesus. Let me think. I'm trying to pull on any kind of essentially any kind of knowledge or even kind of experiences I've had in tabletop.
Mhm.
Oh, I'm so sorry, Feth. I'm trying to think. Like the only ones I can really think of right now is from like actual media and not like a tabletop scenario.
That's fine.
Because I'm like thinking about like how like I was thinking about General Zod and Superman.
Yep.
And how they're essentially like two sides of the same coin, and the only thing that really differentiated them was their kind of alignment, as it were. Superman you could class as like a lawful good character, truth, justice, and the American way and all that.
Mm-hmm.
He wants to essentially keep that order and structure for the safety of everyone else, while you have someone like Zod, on the other hand, who's basically doing the same thing, but not for the safety of the people, but just to keep everyone else below him. Now that I say that, I realize it's completely off topic. I apologize for that.
Right.
Let me think. Oh, bloody hell. I'm sorry if I can't think of one. Can you caution me before I embarrass myself?
All right, that's fine. All right. Let's see. Well, the thing is, Zach, because I'm going to read what they said. One thing that could easily lead to conflict or even drive a giant wedge between party members with the evil player character being persuaded to change sides. So the thing about that is, yeah, that not only would drive a wedge between the characters, but the players themselves. As if you want to drive a evil character to the good side, they have to have a character arc. You can't just basically, I'm going to use the quote, you can't change someone's faith with a single debate. But yeah, that would cause conflict.
Soup can just redeemed hydrate.
Thank you, Soup. By the way, we're in the Discord. So everyone hydrate. So I want to correct you on what you said, Zach. Ren was not evil. Ren was not an evil character. Ren was a good character. Same with Liliana. Liliana was a good character. Is a good character. Yes. And I've explained it a few times to you, actually. She believed that by destroying the entire multiverse, she would end suffering altogether. Therefore, everything she was doing was for the betterment of others. But, anyways. So, other types of conflicts, though, that would arise would be looting decisions and treatment of enemies. For example, you guys have found a treasure hoard and evil characters amongst the party. So what does the evil character end up doing? They're going to park it as much as they can before the others can, instead of waiting for the party to divide it amongst themselves. Or the treatment of enemies. There's an evil character in the party. The evil character wants to do nothing but torture the enemy for the sake of the torture. while the good alignment characters wants to just talk to them or not hurt them at all. Because what good would hurting them do? There's a lot of points of friction that could arise. So with that, we're going to move from the exploring the attention to strategies for success. How we can make this dynamic work. The first rule is the same rule for any tabletop RPG you're going to run. And it's ground rules and communication. Communicate with your group. Communicate with your group. Like me as a game master does allow both good and evil characters. However, I do emphasize that if you want to play as an evil character while the rest of the party is good, I want you to make sure you do not screw up the group dynamic. Do not go out of your way to screw over the party. This is me opening the line of communication, which allows the players to come to me for questions about playing an evil character. Same thing as a player. Even if it hasn't been said or it has been said, let your game master know that you're going to be playing as an evil character. And explain why the character is evil. Or what makes the character evil. So, with that being said, we will go ahead and with that being said, we'll go ahead and move on to other strategies for success. But this time I want it stated in the chat, in the sidebar. Or chat or sidebar, depending on where you're watching this from. So we need to go ahead. So what are other strategies for success in allowing an evil character and a good character to fit well together? So go ahead and type it in the sidebar. I'm going to need more context on that one, Zach. All right. And this gives me time to rest my voice a bit. Okay. See here, a chaotic good and evil, a chaotic good and a lawful evil character. Such fundamental differences, yet they can balance each other out, work together with little to no conflict of interest, and give opportunities for hilarious and creative character interactions. Okay. Um. So yeah, that would go under humor and storytelling. Yeah, that would be a great way to do it. Let's see here. For Khan, it was a common enemy. The party wanted to end tyrannical regiment of the regimes, excuse me, of the paladins, while Khan just wanted the seat of power for himself. The paladins were just in the way. Ah, I see. That, yeah, having a common goal or common end or something that or aligning interests. So, which means they would have a shared objective. That's a good way to strategize for success, giving them a common objective. And I saw that Lily was typing. Okay. No problem. All right. So with that, we'll go ahead and continue. So, but yeah, that was actually explained pretty good. So I'll break them down further. So yeah, the shared objectives ensure that the party has overarching goals that transcend individual moral codes. This could be defeating a greater villain, preventing a world-ending event, pursuing personal quests intertwined with, or pursuing personal quests intertwined with the main objective. Then there is character development, which means you encourage the players to explore the character's motivations, how interacting with characters of different alignments might change them, allowing them to possibly lead to a fascinating redemption arc or hardening of conviction. Then finally there's humor and storytelling, where you use humor and lighthearted moments to diffuse tension, remind players that their characters are more than just their alignment. Focus on storytelling potential and character interactions arising from the unique dynamic. And that's actually the strategy I used with Argo. I use humor in storytelling, where her thing is tricking the party members into owing her money, which adds humor to the story, but also adds more to Argo as a character, but also allows the rest of the party to learn or potentially learn how to not get tricked. Bones. All right. So with that, we'll move on to hold on. Oh, Bones got an idea. Yes, Pinky and the Brain are a great prime example of the humor and storytelling. Just gee, Brain, what are we doing tonight? The same thing we do every night, Pinky. Try to take over the world. Narv. Narv. Anyways. Now I'm going to give some examples and case studies. Anyways, so yeah, I want to give my own examples and case studies using fictional groups with good and evil characters. And frankly, I only need 2 examples. And that is Suicide Squad and the Guardians of the Galaxy. Suicide Squad in DC Comics is filled with both good and evil characters. Same with Guardians of the Galaxy. Especially Peter Quill, who was who was a chaotic evil character turned chaotic neutral. He kind of switches between chaotic neutral and chaotic evil. Because he's a thief in space, but also every once in a while he saves the galaxy. And another thing he only cares about is getting lucky with Gamora. With this, we'll move on a little bit further. So I wanted to start with a few additional tips. I'm going to give a few additional tips. Be mindful of player comfort levels. Ensure everyone is on board with exploring the dynamic before you start it. Secondly, encourage respectful debate and avoid judging players' character choices. Because remember, they're playing a character. This is not the player themselves making the decision. Next, focus on the fun and unique storytelling opportunities this dynamic presents. And finally, remember, ultimately, the goal is for everyone to have an enjoyable and memorable experience. If you're not doing that, then you're not doing a good job. So, we're going to do a bit of a wrap up here. We're going to do a bit of a wrap up here. I'm going to reiterate the challenges, that there are challenges to there are a lot of challenges to having an evil and good dynamic in the group, but the rewards often pay off far more than the challenges than what the challenges do to you. But however, I must emphasize this. I can't emphasize this enough. Communication, communication, communication. Communicate. Communicate with the group. Respect the group and be creative. And let's see here. And then finally, I'm going to ask you this. Do not answer this. I'm leaving you with this question. How would your character react to X moral dilemma presented by another party member of a different alignment? The X, I want you to insert your own moral dilemma. That's the first part of the question. Second, tell yourself how your character would react to this if it involved another party member of a different alignment. With that is all we're going to cover for today. Next week, we will be back at it again. Oh.
Supkin has joined the respect.
Well, welcome to the respect, Supkin. All right. But next week we will be back at it with more of this. Hopefully the power doesn't go out again. And we will be at this again, hopefully this time at 1:00 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Next week we will be covering next week we will be covering traps. How to make traps. With that being said, I am Feth the Exorcist. This has been Tabletop RPG 101. And until next time, keep flapping those wings, everybody. Bye-bye.